you don't just attract people, you attract patterns, especially if you hold yourself to impossibly high standards. You're the one who anticipates needs before they're spoken. You remember details others forget, and people can count on you. But you don't do it for applause, but because it feels like integrity and it matches the standards you hold yourself to. And being so reliable has probably earned you praise, but it also earns you a certain kind of person. The catch is this: when you lead every relationship with how capable you are, you start attracting people who connect with your performance, not your person. And when that happens, you end up surrounded by people who love how you show up, not who you are. If you've ever felt drained by one-sided friendships or relationships that only seem to thrive when you're the one putting in all the effort, this video is for you. Because as a perfectionist or overachiever, you probably hold yourself to high standards and care deeply about doing things well at work, in friendships, and in love. But this can actually work against you in hidden ways. So in this video, I'm going to share the 3 insights that will help you understand how you attract certain kinds of people that ultimately aren't great for you, especially if you're a perfectionist or an overachiever. First, I'll share my philosophy of utility versus authenticity to show you the type of person perfectionists and high standard setters tend to attract, and why those people leave you feeling undervalued without even realizing it. Second, I'll walk you through the 5 warning signs that someone likes the version of you who's useful, impressive, or put together, but doesn't show up for the version of you who's tired, quiet, or needs support. And third, I'll show you how to start rebalancing your connections so they feel more mutual, where care and effort go both ways. After nearly 2 decades coaching senior leaders, I started noticing a pattern. The highest performers often had perfectionistic habits that helped them succeed, but those same habits kept them emotionally overworking and being over-responsible in their relationships, both personal and professional. They ended up drained in every sense and disconnected from their true identity because they mistook being needed for being valued. That's the cycle we're going to start breaking today. While our social systems keep people trapped in cycles of external validation and people-pleasing, we're over here undoing that conditioning, fostering relationships that don't depend on performance or over-functioning, but on presence. In my experience, people bring one of 2 attitudes to relationships. I call them utility and authenticity. And every time I meet someone new, I pay attention to their behavior and their language through this lens. Utility people subconsciously or consciously ask themselves, what can I get from this person that will enable my own ambitions? They see people through the lens of usefulness, whether that's access to status, service, or even emotional labor. It isn't always malicious because, after all, it's natural to appreciate the benefits someone brings into your life. But when they're more focused on what they can get than on who they're getting to know, that is dangerous, especially for perfectionists and overachievers, because you're already prone to overwork and over-responsibility, desensitized to imbalance in relationships as the strong one who always has it together. And so it will cost you greatly without you even realizing sometimes. Authenticity people, on the other hand, they connect through shared values and how having you in their life makes them feel or grow as a person. They think more along the lines of, who can I be with this person? They're not driven by their own personal agenda. They're driven by belonging. Now imagine these 2 attitudes as a spectrum. Some people live all the way on the utility side, purely transactional and thinking, what's in it for me? And my warning alert to you is that this attitude is on the rise and it's becoming more ingrained as a social norm and standard. Others on the authenticity side, they're open, giving and relational. But most people float somewhere in between. So Dear perfectionists and overachievers, you care about how you treat people closest to you because of the standards you hold yourself to. You care about how you show up at work and often overextending. So what kind of person would absolutely love someone like that? Yeah, you guessed it, utility people. You become a magnet for people stuck on the utility end of the spectrum. And once your usefulness runs out, so does their interest. And that loss of interest isn't always dramatic. It can be very subtle. Bear in mind that this utility authenticity spectrum, it doesn't just happen in your personal life. It shows up at work too. They see your high standards as free labor, something to use, not something to value. If you're a perfectionist in that kind of environment, you'll work yourself into the ground, trying to prove your worth in a system that never intends to give you much back. Leave a comment below. How have you overextended yourself in work or in relationships? I'd love to discuss this with you. Because if you're stuck in that cycle of overworking and overextending and no one ever names it, you might be surrounded by utility-driven dynamics, not genuine connection or recognition of your value as a person. So how do you spot when someone's drawn to your performance, not your presence, or is basically a utility person? I'm going to give you 5 warning signals. The first is when you stop performing, the energy shifts. For instance, if you have a bad day or you go quiet for a while, maybe because you're sick or you just stop being the one who checks in all the time and lifts the mood, do they reach out to you or do they get annoyed or even just disappear altogether? Do they lean in to see how you are? Do they fill the space that you usually hold or resent the gap that you've left? Because when someone only values what you do, your inaction threatens the whole dynamic because you're not playing the role they have assigned to you. So they don't know how to connect with you or what to do with you, basically. The second one is when you confide in them, they show little interest or responsiveness. Do they genuinely listen or quickly redirect the conversation back to you being so amazing and so strong? Because that's not empathy or support. That's a subtle way of, again, getting you to play the role that benefits them. They're uncomfortable meeting you in your honesty because it disrupts the image they rely on you to uphold. And that image is a benefit to them. The third thing is when they talk about why they value you, what do they say? If every compliment is about what you do, your work ethic, your reliability, not how you make them feel, not meaningful shared experiences or simply just who you are, that could be a sign that they view you through the lens of utility. And there's another subtle sign many perfectionists miss. Number 4, their worth and efforts are unpredictable. They give bare minimum effort most of the time and only perk up when you're connected to something that benefits them. For a period of time, they're distant, saying they're too busy. Maybe they might even be a little dismissive. And then the next period of time, they're overly warm, complimentary, and really eager to connect suddenly. Usually that second wave comes right before they need something, a favor, advice, attention, an introduction to someone, or maybe just emotional support that they've come to rely on from you. Yes, you're the strong one, the dependable one, but you also deserve consistent and reliable people in your life too. But in utility dynamics, warmth becomes currency, and it's only ever spent when there's something to gain. Just a quick segue, if all this is hitting home, please don't beat yourself up. It's not that you're naive. It's that you were trained to equate the amount of effort you put in with worth. And when your worth depends on effort, you'll keep trying to earn connection instead of standing back and expecting reciprocity. You have been engaged not just in productivity overwork, but emotional overwork too. And it's time to retire from that role. The 5th and final sign that you could be connected to someone who only values what you do for them and not who you are is that when you're burned out, overworking, or clearly juggling too much, they don't mention a thing. They don't offer to help. They don't acknowledge your load. They move around your exhaustion as if it's not there. Because in utility relationships, your struggle doesn't trigger empathy. It threatens their comfort. You can't grow to be your best inside and outside in relationships that only notice your strength and never your strain. So how do you move towards attracting relationships, whether they be friendships, partners, or workplaces, that are grounded more in authenticity versus utility? Well, it starts with a mindset shift. As your root fear of being rejected or abandoned fades and your self-respect grows, you stop performing for acceptance and you start filtering for alignment and authenticity. And here's the truth, not everyone will come with you. When you stop being the person who over-delivers, some people will leave. Some relationships collapse the moment you stop over-functioning. And that's proof they were never right for you to begin with. You have to believe that there are people who can love you without needing something from you or relying on you never dropping the ball and showing that you can do it all or be it all. People who don't see you as a tool for their ambitions, but as a person they genuinely enjoy being around with no performance required. And if you want a space where you don't have to perform to belong, subscribe to this channel and join my Excellence and Ease newsletter. In my newsletter, I share honest lessons and mindset shifts that help perfectionists keep aiming high without burning out, losing themselves, or staying stuck in paralysis. You can find the link in the description and my pinned comment below. Another thing is to recognize that the goal is not to become cold or resentful. It's to become confidently clearer and more accurately aligned. This means getting better at spotting people driven by utility instead of authenticity and aligning yourself with people who value the latter. Because if you don't, utility people will absolutely deplete you. So something worth reflecting on is who in your life genuinely sees you beyond what you can do for them and how well you do it. And how do they show that to you? Once you've built relationships rooted in authenticity, another frontier is your ambition. Because if you haven't aligned that, if you're still chasing external validation in your work, you will rebuild the same exhaustion cycle elsewhere. That's what I'll cover in my next video. How to redefine excellence without losing yourself. Until then, harness, don't hate your standards so you can live a life of excellence and ease.